Here's a tea conversation 40 years in the making. I spent 5 days in the National Forest with my oldest brother Tony, and because we grew up in such totally different worlds, we never got a chance to connect deeply until now. Our 5-day adventure culminated in this beautiful tea conversation, which reminded me to appreciate and respect impermanence, to loosen my grip on attachment and just let be what is, to grow my gratitude beyond the things that are most obviously good things, and to expand my definition of love one teacup at a time. I'm Balvo, and this is Mind Over Matcha. This episode is part 3 of a 3-part series from the Coconino National Forest in Arizona. I'm here with my eldest brother, Tony. His Vietnamese name is Long. We've spent the last 4 days exploring his favorite spots in Arizona, outdoors. Now we're at a river called Verde River. Anh Long, it's been an honor and a pleasure to witness and participate in one of the things that you love most in life, which is the outdoors and camping and hiking. And to share that experience with you and learn how you do it, what you eat, where you go pee has been really fun, but also in my lifetime, I haven't had a chance to spend that much personal time with you. So it's a moment that I treasure, everything that we've already shared this week. So my brother Long, or Tony, was born in the late 60s in Vietnam. And he was a child during the war, which I'm sure was an experience. But we immigrated here when you were a teenager, and so you have to pretty much invent a new way of living from scratch with no role models. You have to build it yourself, and I really respect that. So I wanted to have you for tea today. We don't have matcha, but we have green tea. And I have 3 questions for you, and I think you'll have fun answering them.
So, first of all, I am very grateful that you have traveled hundreds of miles to come out here to see me and spending time with me. We haven't had any intimate personal experience like this together for like 40 years. So this is a very rare opportunity, and I am honored too. I also want to thank you, all those near and far, have spent your time watching and listening to our conversation. Thank you.
You are the brother, we have other siblings by the way. You are the brother that, in terms of our interests, we have the most in common. We like to go outdoors. We like to learn. We like to play guitar and do creative things, take photography. But we also have been learning and dedicating a lot of our time to more spiritual and more ancient knowledge from spiritual leaders. And I know that one of your teachers, a very important teachers for you, is Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen Buddhist monk, the Vietnamese Zen Buddhist monk, among other teachers and education that you yourself went out to find, to seek. And my question for you Tony, is do you have one main teaching that you always return to that's very special to you?
The main teaching that I learned, that I always find joy and happiness from, is to practice mindful living. Mindful living is pretty simple. All you have to do is just be aware of everything you do, everything you say, everything around you, and happiness and joy will arise from that. For example, being able to sit here next to the river under this beautiful shade of trees, talking to my beloved brother. And like I said earlier, we haven't had anything like this for 40 years, spending time together in the forest and sharing experiences. So that is joy and happiness. And by practicing mindful living, every day is a blessed day, at least for me.
So the alternative to being mindful is maybe we're here and we're on our phones looking at social media or reading the news, or we're here and we have a loud stereo playing music or drinking beer. That's the alternative? Or do you think that you can still be mindful doing those other things?
So mindful is, we have to be aware of everything we consume. This means for our body and for our mind. If we consume unhealthy food, then our body will get sick. But if we consume good, healthy food, then we feel happier and healthier. And the same thing with our mind. If we consume bad news, TikToks, whatever is it, on the phone or on the TV, on our devices, we got sucked into it, that, and we don't even recognize it. And then we pretty much, it's like a habit. We feed in our mind unhealthy stuff. And so we just have to be aware. It's all about habit of what we consume for our body and for our mind. So to do that, we have to think deeply and look deeply into any source of food that we consume, body and mind.
So that is one practice that you and I have been learning and practicing. There are many practices for the health of our person and our soul and our body. But just because somebody reads and learns about a practice, or they understand it and they believe the benefits of it, doesn't mean that it's easy to make that practice reality in your daily life. So my question for you is there a practice that you are still struggling with, that you want to be more masterful at?
Well, there are two kinds of seeds in us, wholesome and unwholesome. Wholesome seeds are seeds of joy, of happiness, of kindness, of generosity, and so on. And the other seed is unwholesome, seeds of anger, distress, despair, jealousy, craving, so on. And so If one of the unwholesome seeds arise, you have to be able to recognize it and to use your mindfulness energy to look into it, to shine the light onto it, and to not water those seeds so that you don't become the seed of anger, the seed of despair, of jealousy, and so on. And so whenever you run into a situation that you don't feel good about it, you know. And so I say it's not easy, but if you recognize that, oh, I am angry, then what you need to do is just to use your mindfulness energy to shine a light on it. And so you determine, okay, I'm not going to water this seed. Then you'll be okay.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah.
And it just takes practice. Practice makes perfect.
Oh, thank you. Many people feel like they don't have control over their life or what happens in the world. But I think that what you're saying is we have a choice about how we exist in the world. That's the only thing we can control, right? Recently, I've been thinking about how, you know how Taylor Swift has her tour was called the Eras Tour because she has many different eras of her artist life. I always think about the many eras or chapters. Sometimes they seem like a whole lifetime in my single lifetime. From my youth to my teenage years to my years as a musician, a creative professional, an artist, whatever. But the change between each of those eras, sometimes when it's happening, you don't see it until after it happens. Or sometimes the change happens because of some sort of event. Maybe a parent dies, or you move to a new location. For you, you are approaching a significant age of 60, and I know that you have gone through very many eras of your life as well, and reinvention and survival. And so my question for you is, through all of those experiences, do you have a personal philosophy about change and about how to change in the most healthy way?
Impermanence is one of the three that I practice regularly. Impermanence meaning that everything is changing all the time, change. We go through different stages of life. So if we know that because of impermanence, everything is changing all the time, we live fully and treasure this very moment. Because of impermanence, I may not have a second chance sitting here with my brother. But I know I have today. I have this here and now to fully enjoy him. So if we practice impermanence, the insight into impermanence keeps us from getting caught in the suffering of despair, craving, attachment. Everything is changing, so don't expect that this person this whatever that we have is going to be here with us forever. Just fully enjoy the present moment wholeheartedly. Look at this person in the eyes, talk kindly, embrace a little bit longer. And that is how we can find joy and happiness every day. If something happens, we know that, the time that I spent with this person, I had devoted all my love, my care, my energy, my kindness and compassion for this person.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you guys found some juicy nuggets in there. We're gonna hang out and have some tea, mess around by the river. And thanks for joining us for Mind Over Matcha. We'll see you next time. My brother Tony.